Hey guys, so today we're going to do a reading on what's our money luck for next year, okay? And we're going to do a little fun reading today. We're going to do a little bit more different than usual, okay? Now, I want you to pay attention, and we have here 4 stacks, okay? Now, if you are over the age of 33 and you're a woman, this is going to be the reading for you. If you are a woman under the age of 33, this is going to be for you. If you're a man over the age of 33, this stack is for you. If you are a man under the age of 33, this stack is for you. Okay? So, I'm going to do the Celtic Cross. I'm going to use the Morgan Gear Tarot for today. I feel it today. I feel like the Morgan Gear is more appropriate for this type of reading. So, we're going to get started. Alright, so let's remove the other ones. Let's start with the Queen of Disc. So I'm gonna shuffle them a little bit more, and we're gonna get started with this reading. Alright, so this reading is for next year generally. It could be of any year, it's timeless, okay? I don't use reversals, so just turning them around. Okay, so let's start the reading. Okay, Queen of Pentacles. I'm going to talk about currently of how we're doing. And I don't think we're doing that well. Okay. We have here the Page of Swords, which is you trying to find a method of making money. Okay. You've also abandoned something, a job. You've abandoned maybe a business. You've lost interest on it, as you have here the 8 of Cups. You're sort of like a loner, and you're trying to look for guidance, as you have here the Hermit. And you have a lot of self-doubt. You kind of feel low about it. You feel low self-esteem, like you can't get it, like you just feel really bad. And I think this is a really bad financial situation where someone could probably be without a job. And if you're not without a job, it could mean that you are feeling like you want to leave your job. Okay? And you're looking probably online to see what you could get, maybe applying for places. And if you don't have a job, it means that you're not really getting called, or the jobs that you're applying to, they just fall over under the expectation. Okay. Now, in the past here, you had balance. Okay. Perhaps you had a good job. Perhaps things were working out for you. You had a balance. But now it's kind of like, you want to look, when you want to look onto something, but you don't really know what to do. Okay. Now, you have here the 4 of Swords on what's coming. Okay. And the 4 of Swords is typically a time where, you're more generally quiet, and you're retreating, and you're trying to gather your thoughts to see what is your next move. Because right now you're pretty much a mess, okay? Right now your mind is all over the place, okay? You feel like you're probably tired physically, exhausted. You just keep giving more and more of your energy, but you're not receiving anything back. Okay, this is what I get from the 8 of Cups, okay? And the Page of Swords, she's pretty much over it. Like, she's done, okay? She feels like a rebel. Like, okay, I really, really need to get it. And like I said, all of this energy, it's pretty overwhelming. And what I see here of what's coming for next year, or at least the beginning of next year, is that you're gonna hold back. You're gonna pause, and you're gonna be like, okay, I have to really, really take a break. Okay, you're probably gonna take a break from applying for jobs. You're gonna take a break from looking online. Okay, so that's just a pause. Now, what I see here for the middle of the year, okay, or by springtime, because we have here the Four of Wands, and Four of Wands is very much for spring. We also have here Wands is fire for summer. Sometime around the spring and the summer. These are all Wands, by the way. Okay. We have here the King of Rods, which means that you are forcefully looking for a job after this period of retreating. Okay. Again, if you have a job, it could mean that you're just, being quiet in your job. Okay. Maybe you're overworked and overloaded and tired, and now you're just holding back. You're not probably talking as much as you used to before. This is for people who do have a job. And just holding back. But then in the springtime, in the summer, when we have that fire energy, we have here that you're going to go for it. You're going to probably start something new. Maybe you want to open a new business. Okay, maybe there's something that caught your attention and you're like, okay, I can make money like this. Okay, there's a new way for me to make money. And from the outside, energies from the outside, you got completion, which it generally means that you're going to celebrate because you're going to, yes, I got it. So maybe all the things that you did apply for this year, then it's going to take a little while for it to, manifest, but it will eventually manifest. Okay. We got here the Eight of Wands, which means your wishes. You wish for them to call you. You wish to get that good news. This reading is more for a person that has a business. It means that you want to get the people, you want to get the clients, you want to get the customers. Okay? That's what you want to do. You want to hear from it. And as a result here, you got the Page of Rods. Okay? The Page of Rods is a very positive card. And it signifies that you broke over something. You broke over something that was hard and difficult. Okay, you're like a catalyst, because the Page of Rods is very much like a catalyst. But what I see here is a lot of rods, a lot of fire. Rods are fire, and it signifies that you're gonna pass through this hard time. And yeah, it is a very hard time. I could see it here. And the Knight of Swords is not very helpful. Okay, speaks of a time where you're like in your bed, you're laying down, and you feel like crap. You feel like you have no value. This is currently. You feel like you have no value as a person. Okay, whether you be working, okay, because you are working, and maybe the people don't treat you right. Maybe your co-workers don't treat you right. Okay, but you just feel like crap, and maybe they're prying over your privacy. If you're working, you might not be able to get along with the co-workers, and they be prying on your stuff. Okay, maybe gossiping. And because the Page of Swords symbolizes a woman that's spying and looking through things and stuff. So this is also an indication that you could probably be dealing with that if you are working, if you do have a job. Okay, and you're just fed up with it, and that's why you're keeping to yourself. Okay, you don't want to deal with these gossipers anymore. You just don't want to deal with these people, and that's why you're being quiet. But if you do have a job, this could be another opportunity for another job. Okay, another opportunity for a better job. Maybe you apply for some other place, and you're probably going to hear from them, because this is a very, very positive role right here, and they're all fire. Okay, this is a very low energy that I see here in this side pertaining to now. Very, very low energy. But over here you have, fire. Okay, now I want to pick 2 dices for this reading, just as an advice of what you should do. Okay, what you should be doing. Yeah, about the situation. Wow. Speaking of money, we have here Disc, Pentacles, money, and money. Well, don't get too excited. I'm just saying that you got the element of Earth. Okay. Now, you got here the Two of Pentacles. It means change. Change your ways, honey. Change your ways, and you're gonna get money. Change what you're doing. Maybe you're in the wrong career. Maybe you're in the wrong job, but it says change. This is the advice for you. Change. Okay? And you have here the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles pertains to timing. Be patient. Change and be patient, because it's going to take a while for you to get what you want. It's going to take a while, but if you grind hard enough, you're going to be able to get it. And I think it does go with this reading because, as you can see here, we're taking a break and then it just lights up on fire. Okay, so pretty done with this reading. And if you want a further reading on any other topic and you want a private reading about something, a specific issue, then just contact me on the links below and I'll be sure to give you a private reading. So we're going to go on to the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle a little bit. And we're going to put this card over here. I'm going to do the Celtic Cross today. I find the Celtic Cross to be very, very, very clear in a reading when it comes to money. So let's flip it around. And links to the items that I use here are under this video in case you wanted a money Buddha, which they're always lucky. They always bring you money. Okay, so here we go. Let's start. Okay, so I see that now things are flux. Okay, you are probably working on something. You're having patience in something. You're applying your energy, alchemy into something, and you're waiting. Okay, you have here the 9 of Wands. Okay. You also have high hopes about something. Okay. And perhaps you're a little feisty and feeling rebellious at the same time. In the past months, you've been learning something. You have here the High Priestess. Maybe you've been going to school. Okay. Currently, what I see here is that you're grinding, like you're really applying. Maybe if you want to open a business, this is pretty much a reading pertaining to you putting your energies into the stock, into how you're going to present yourself, and also waiting. Okay, and you have a lot of high hopes. It's kind of like something that you like doing. Okay, if you have a job, it means that maybe you're waiting on a raise and you're kind of working your way and asking your boss on a raise, and or maybe you're probably working on getting another job. Okay, but you're probably waiting for the results. Okay, this speaks of a time where you're gonna be working on something and yet there's no results yet, and it's more keen to next year. Okay, but now you just have a lot of high hopes, and perhaps in the past month you were researching online more about this topic. Okay, potentially a career, or if you're in a job, you're probably researching another job. Okay, now what I see for next year of what's to come here, you got the King of Swords. Okay, and this is a card of being logical and making logical decisions. Okay, and perhaps at the moment you're more making choices on emotion and upon inspiration, but you're not really making reasonable, logical thoughts about this. Okay, so it might not be a career for you, but you're more like, okay, it's for me because I like it, but you're not probably seeing the pay. Okay, now remember, you have to tailor this reading to your situation, because I'm giving you like three possible ways that you could see it based on having a job, not having a job, and starting a career. Okay, because people are in different paths in their life, so you have to tailor it to your situation. So for here, I got the King of Swords. So I see that next year, at least the beginning of next year, you're going to be making very logical. Okay, and you're going to be like, okay, maybe I was being a little bit too dreamy, but now I'm going to make logical decisions. And here you have here the 10 of Cups. This is fulfillment, means that you're fulfilled in what you're doing. From the outside, you have a lot of opportunities. You got the Path, you got the Chariot. And to me, it feels like it's very artsy. Like this is a very creative thing that you're doing, okay, to bring in money, because you have the Page of Cups, okay. But at the ending, you have here, and it concerns me, you have here the Three of Swords, and the Three of Swords signifies sadness, something that you have to face, and you don't want to face it, okay. So if you have a job, okay, it could mean that perhaps you probably overdid it, okay, this year. You probably overdid it, you gave it your all, you put yourself to work, you had a little bit of patience, and you waited. But then you probably saw that you probably didn't get what you wanted, and you became logical about it. You're like, okay, this, you know, I see your happiness, like you just kept on your path, and okay, but at the end, this really does concern me. The Three of Swords, okay, having to face something, okay. And it's strange because all of these cards are pretty much positive, okay. So yeah, I mean, I see that it just doesn't work out, you know, like we want it to. So I'm going to draw 2 dice from over here to give you an advice on what to do. Okay. Ooh, okay. So we got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we have here the Five of Cups. Okay, this is the advice. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, because you could be disappointed and you could have failure. And I know this sounds crazy because at the moment you might be feeling very inspired with your new job or the career that you want to take, but don't put your eggs in one basket, okay? Or the business that you want to start. You are taking your time, you are putting your energy to it, okay? But you know, there's a lot of factors. You have here the Chariot. The Chariot is the path, okay? And I know the Chariot is a very positive card, but it hasn't begun, the Chariot is usually still and it hasn't begun to move. So there's a lot of possibilities, there's a lot of opportunities, and you know, nothing is set in stone at the end of the day, so you have to have a backup, okay? Perhaps you have to save money, perhaps you kind of have to expect the worst. Don't be all, you know, because you could have your hopes really crushed, okay? But always have that possibility in your mind that, okay, this might not work, so let me try plan B, okay? This is for next year, guys, okay? And remember, this is a timeless reading, meaning that it doesn't matter what year you're reading, I mean, you're seeing this reading. What matters is that you're seeing it almost at the ending of the year, and that's going to give you an insight of what's to come, the energies to come. This is what this reading is, okay? So, yeah, pretty much don't get your hopes high, but keep at it, be logical, okay? And just keep that clear mind, okay? Okay, just be logical. This is the reading. Okay, so I think I'm pretty much done here. If you want a personal reading, please reach out to me on the links below, and I'll be happy to tailor a reading to whatever situation it is that you're having. And yeah, I wish you the best of luck. Okay, so we're gonna go on to the next stack, which is King of Pentacles. And let's put this away over here, and I'm gonna shuffle a little bit, okay, just to get the energy flowing. Okay, I'm gonna do the Celtic Cross. So yeah, this reading is for next year, but we're going to see the energies that are developing currently. And it's a timeless reading, so it could be for any year you want, as long as it's towards the ending of the year, okay? Of a year that you're seeing this reading, okay? Okay, let's flip them through. Okay. Interesting. Okay, interesting. In this reading, we have the main thing that's concerning you at the moment is love. And I know this is a money reading, and we should, and we should put this reading towards money, but we have here a connection between two people. Okay? And this could be a business relationship too. Doesn't have to be a loved one. But I want to say that if you do have love in your mind, well, this is a strong indication that this reading is for you, okay? Because this is what it's the main idea here. Now, we also have here new beginnings, fortune in your mind, but struggle, like very heavy, like too much work, overload. Okay, so I get that this reading has to do with potentially business, okay? Maybe you just started a business. Maybe there is someone that you're working with at your job if you're not having a business, but you're a co-worker. Maybe putting an event together, okay? And it deals with a lot of energy, having to do a lot of force, and maybe you see a raise if you're working, okay? You have to put this reading to your situation because everybody's got a different situation, okay? So if you have a job, maybe you're doing this for a raise, or you're doing this for a bonus, okay? You're putting this event for a bonus. And if it's for a business that you're trying to put with the person, you see the money that you could get potentially with this business, okay? But it does have to have, you do have to have a lot to do with it. You have to have a lot of energy to deal with it, because you have here the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands signifies a time where you feel like you have an overload. You're exhausted. Maybe you get out of work and you're tired, but you think it's worth it. Now, in the past, you have here the Five of Wands. Five of Wands pertains to a situation where there's a lot of arguments. People don't see eye to eye with ideas. So maybe you were employed, okay? Maybe you had issues with your coworkers. Maybe your business wasn't going as you planned because you were struggling, but now maybe you have a new business partner, or maybe you have a new strategy into getting money, but it's an overload. Okay, it's an overload, and you feel it. You feel like, man, is it worth it? Like, is it really worth to put all this effort? But maybe it is to you, because you do see the Wheel of Fortune. You do see money for it. Okay. Now, for this coming year, I see here the Six of Swords. You have a transition. Okay, difficulties will move on. Like any difficulty that you're going through at the moment that you feel like, okay, I'm grinding and it's too much, well, it's gonna dissipate. Okay, it's going to dissolve. Okay, I see here a period of moving on. Okay, now this could mean many things. It could mean that you're moving on to something else, another business, moving on to another job. Okay, if this was too much of an overload for you, or maybe you already moved on from this project. Okay, but it just means a transition of moving on. Now, I see wealth here. I see that you attained what you wanted to attain. You have here the Ten of Pentacles. So you attained it here, something that you want to attain. Now, from the outside, you're getting offers that don't interest you. And this is for next year, okay? You're going to get offers that are not going to interest you next year. And your mind's going to be more on the money, on making that money, okay? But people are going to be offering you stuff and be like, it doesn't quite cut it, okay? Maybe in your job, people are going to be offering you tasks and you're going to be like, it doesn't quite cut it. So you're going to be fantasizing about probably your ideal job, okay? Your ideal career, your ideal business, because you have here the Seven of Cups, okay? This is for next year. But like I said, you're not going to, be receiving what you want. I think you're going to have to step outside the box and maybe find it for yourself, because from the outside, expectations may be low, okay? Now, as a result, you have here the Devil. Now, don't get scared, okay? The Devil pertains to a situation where we feel materialistically imprisoned. Like, we want so many things and we don't have them and we suffer. So it's kind of like a little demon that's making us suffer. And we have here the Devil as a result. Okay, perhaps you do get what you want, but you end up wanting more things, and maybe it's not what maybe people offer you things that you don't want, and then when you get it, you want more things. You're kind of like enslaved by materialism. You're kind of enslaved by a routine. It could also be a routine. Okay, maybe if it's a new job, you're going to be happy you got the job. Maybe you're making that job, you're making money in that job, but at the end of the day, it's not enough for you, and you feel like you want more. Okay, so I think that what we see here is that you're going to have to learn to be, you know, you're going to have to learn to be more content with the things that you have in order for you not to suffer. But you know what? Let's see. Let's draw 2 dice and see what advice does the Oracle give you, okay, for next year. Okay. We have here the princess, sorry, not the princess. We have here the Knight of Wands, and we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, the 7 of Cups, same as here. And the 7 of Cups pertains to desires. I want this, I want that. And maybe you're spending more than what you're making next year. Okay? And we have here the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands signifies a person that's feisty and I don't care. Like, I just want to get this for me. And, you know, your emotions swing from one mood to the other. You could be influenced really quickly online. Like, if you see something you want to buy, you're going to want to buy it immediately. You know, no thoughts, even though if you don't have, you know, the money to buy it. So that could affect you, your money next year. Okay, yes, you could be making the money, but are you spending more than what you're making? Because you're here wishing on things, and yet you're not getting sufficient. You're not pulling sufficient, meaning people are not offering you enough or what you want. Okay, and at the end of the day, you got the devil. You're kind of enslaved by materialism. So this is for next year. Okay, next year you're gonna have to learn probably to balance yourself a little bit more and not spend too much, and perhaps that will be enough. Maybe the job that you have, maybe the business that you're doing will be enough, and you have to be content, because otherwise it will lead into suffering for next year. But other than that, I do see pretty much a positive reading. It's just us that we do get in our ways sometimes. Okay, so yeah, this does it for this reading. If you want a more in-depth reading, please contact me on the links below, and I'll be happy to give you a personal reading for whatever situation that you may have. I wish you the best. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so we're gonna do a little reading here, and first we're going to shuffle. Do the Celtic cross, and remember, this reading is for next year. It's a timeless reading, so I do recommend that you do watch this video at the end of 1 year so that you could get the energies from next year. You could pretty much see what to expect for next year. Okay, but it's a timeless reading. It doesn't matter what year you're watching this. Okay, so what I see here is that currently you could potentially be offering your services to people, and this could be a new undertaking for you. I see a new undertaking. You have here the Fool, meaning unexperienced and hoping for the best. I see that you're working on something, okay, diligently applying your skills to something, learning a new skill, learning a new task, but you're learning something, okay, and you're kind of happy. You're kind of happy doing what you're doing. Could be something that you want to do. Okay, now if this is a career, could mean that you're happy with your career and you're focused on offering your service. Maybe you're getting ready to graduate. If you already have a job, it could mean that you're probably offering your services to other people. You know, you're being more, volunteerist. If you are pertaining to a business, could mean that you're offering, your services to other people. You're putting yourself out there and you're learning a skill. Okay. Now, in the past, in this year, we have here the World, and this means an end of a cycle. Okay. And what I get from this card, it could mean that perhaps you graduated, or you finished something that now is enabling you to continue to do something else. Okay. But this is an end of a cycle. This is a completion of something that took you a while to fulfill. Okay. Now, for next year, we have here the Queen of Swords. Okay. And sword cards have to do with using your logic. Now, the Queen of Swords isn't particularly an emotional being, but she's more of a logical being, and everything for her has to do with logic and making sense and using her intellect to make a decision. Okay. And this could pertain to, if you're working at a job, could pertain to having issues with a woman that's, very cold. Okay. Or if you have to make a decision and you have to really not use any emotions, you have to do a heartless decision. This is for next year. And this is like a character. This is a very strong but cold character. Maybe it's an archetype that you will have to, undertake for next year. Now, the energies that you're going to be putting into next year, you have the Magician. Magician is a very good, favorable card when it comes to money, because the Magician is, he's a jack of all trades. He could do pretty much anything. Okay? If you tell him, hey, go do a video, he'll learn how to do the video immediately. Okay? If you tell him, hey, you're going to have to drive on Uber, he's going to get a car somewhere. Okay? So he's a very flexible being, and this is what you're going to, this is the energy that you're going to project for next year. Okay? Now, energies from the outside, you have the King of Cups. Okay? King of Cups is a very wishy person. Wishes. So perhaps you're going to get people that are interested on your service, but it doesn't really mean that they're going to take your service. Like if this is pertaining to a business that you're doing, it could mean that there's a possible people that would want to invest and perhaps be your business partner, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they will. Okay, so you're gonna have to have a little bit of caution there, because you are being very positive. You have very opportunistic, point of view here, but we don't know. The King of Cups is not really an action card, but he's more of an observer and a wisher. Okay, now, for next year, of course, you're going to wish for abundance. You have here the Cup of Love, but we're talking about business here. So you're going to wish of an overflow, okay? And as we know, water also signifies money in other cultures, like in Asia, the flow in feng shui. Now, as a result, we have here the Four of Disc, okay? And the Four of Disc pertains to a situation where we're scared of losing something, okay? We're scared of losing control. We're scared of losing our power. Okay, and we kind of feel like our resources are limited. So I see here that, yeah, okay, you're offering your service, you're open, you're learning new skills, and you're happy about it, but next year there's gonna come reality. Okay, it's gonna knock on your door, and you're gonna have to use your brain. Not emotions, not inspiration, but you're gonna have to use logic. And yes, you're going to have to be flexible. Maybe you're going to have to be taking a job that doesn't suit you, that you're not, but you're going to have to work it because you got the Magician. Perhaps people, they're thinking of working with you or, investing, but, it might not happen. You have high expectations of making that money. And your expectations could come a little down, because I could see here that you feel like, oh, man, I could lose this. I could lose the money that I invested on this business. I could lose this job for some reason. So if this is a job that you're talking about here, if we're talking about here, you could have a little bit of obstacles next year with a coworker that you're working with, or if you just graduated from college and maybe you want to start a new business or something, you might have a little bit of an obstacle, and people might not be what they seem, And this could lead to, you know, issues at the end, you know, like, did I invest too much? Did I put too much energy on something? Now, I want to draw 2 of these dices to see what advice is it going to give us. Okay. In what situation, what could we do here? Okie dokie. So, interesting, because we have here the Fool again, but we have here the 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups symbolizes connection, partnership. So maybe the advice that it's trying to give you is for you to partner up with somebody, okay, that knows what they're doing, if it is a business that you want to start. And if it has to do with work, maybe you should seek friends, okay, and relatives to see what it is that they could help you with, you know, in getting a job. It also pertains to be open. Okay, the Fool has to do with innocence, with taking a leap. Okay, and perhaps it's trying to tell you, hey, you know, you may not like what you're gonna get, but it's something that you could work on, at least receive the money, so that then you could get what you want to, you know, the career that you want to get. So it's trying to tell you to, you know, toughen up and go for it. Okay, whatever it is that they're offering you, go for it. Because if you don't, then you're going to be focused on one thing and you're not going to receive, you know, you might not receive. And then at the end, you might end up like this, like, oh God, what do I do now? I've spent more than what I've made, you know, on this business. So it's best not to put your eggs in one basket and, you know, to go for the other possibilities, go for the other jobs, you know, they may be offering you. And seek other people, you know, seek a business partner that could help you out, okay? Seek a co-worker that could potentially lead you to someone who knows of another job or something, if that's the issue, okay? But seek other people, because, you know, if you do it solo, you know, it may not, you know, go for you, you know, the way you want it. Okay, so I think we're done here with this reading. If you want an in-depth personal reading of your personal situation, specific situation, then go to links below and contact me there, and I'll be happy to give you a reading. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope that you subscribe, and I really do wish you the best.